everybody's not going to be 100% all the time. And that's why you have your friends for.
Exactly.
You have your friends to uplift you and keep you balanced at a certain level and to push you to exceed heights that you never thought that were possible. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Just to Know podcast, where we make knowledge your strongest weapon.
Welcome back, folks. As always, your boy Just over there, your boy Nas over here, and we're gonna talk about something friendly today.
Yeah. Today we're gonna be talking about a healthy competition between you and the people around you, and why you shouldn't be living your life as a spectator.
Yeah. So, life takes its course. You grow up. Everybody starts getting into their own things. Meaning, your circle, your group of friends, people closest to you. Everybody starts, actually following the path that they've been trying to, lead, the life they're trying to lead. They've been trying to lead for however long now. And you see it time and time again where, there's this weird dynamic in friendship where you want to be happy. You should be, obviously. You want to be happy for your friends, for the people that are near and dear to your heart. And some people kind of mix that with jealousy, envy, hate. And that's always the unhealthy way to go about things. And then there's the people who see it as in, my boys are doing their thing, my homegirls are doing their thing. It's time for me. So they'll take that as encouragement, some motivation. And they'll start putting their best effort forward, their best foot forward, and starting to make shit shake for themselves. And it's I don't know really when it comes to, I guess, the psychology of it, what makes people react one way, respond one way versus the other. But it is an interesting topic that I guess we could sit here and share our thoughts about it.
Yeah, I think when it comes to having a circle of people, I don't think that just one person should be, doing well in their own right and everyone else around them is just, stagnant. I feel like if you're in a group environment of your friends and you really care about the people around you, you should be pushing them to do better with themselves, because one thing that does suck, and I'm not going to be honest with you, like when you see one person that's around you at a certain level and you're nowhere near that person. And for me personally, especially in my, friend group, I like to, push everybody to their own right. Like they don't have to be me per se, but whatever they want to do in their life and whatever makes them happy and whatever, they see themselves going towards, like I want to push them towards that level. And I do it through like a healthy kind of competition. Like, but for me, for a sense, like I like to get like, how do I say, like fired up. Like I'd be pushing people like OD hard. Like I'll be like, yo, like, why the hell you can't do this? And like, you could do this. Like, I try to fire them up because what I've learned in my life, and this is what I do when it comes to emotions, is I use like anger as fuel. So I get hyped, I get, angry. So I like to push people to do more, better things, even though it might like sometimes probably push them in a way of like them probably getting angered towards me.
Oh, well.
Like, I feel like people like sit down and really think about things when they're angry, but you got to understand, like, it's not personal. Like it's out of love. It's like tough love kind of a thing. But yeah, I think competition is really something that, everybody should have. That's what, makes you kind of want to do better. Because if you just do it just sort of the fact that, and most people are not like this, honestly, just to do better for themselves, just for themselves. Most people are not like that.
Absolutely.
Most people see other people, see, what other people have, and they want it too, and they're trying to reach to that level. That's most people, honestly. They always see what somebody else is having, and they want to start to move towards it. But
Yeah, I think that competitive nature that you touched on, I can speak for myself, and I'm pretty sure such is the case for you, where we grew up playing sports, so we get that competitive edge, that fire, that getting fired up, nature. That comes from, sports. Sports is a healthy thing. You always see it. And really, it is healthy and it's beneficial, especially when it comes from the people that you respect and that are close to you. Like, let's say on a basketball team, for example, you're on a 12, 13 man team. Your teammate that you're closest to, when he tries to get you fired up, he gets a way better response out of you than the person on a team that you don't really vibe, you don't really click with too much, you know? And such that also carries over to the friendship aspect, you know, to the people in your circle, just in life in general, in all phases, all aspects, all elements of life, where if these are really your friends and you see them doing good and building and taking steps forward and taking steps towards progress, and you have a certain level of respect for them, naturally, you should have a good response to them trying to get you fired up, trying to get the best out of you, you know, and some people really take it. I don't know how, I don't know why. I don't have the explanation. I don't have all the answers here. This is kind of just food for thought.
Thanks.
I don't understand why there's some people who really sit there and they watch all this going on around them, all their friends, you know, taking different leaps in life, and they just sit there as spectators and they start developing this envy, this hate, this jealousy, where it's like they have so much time on their hands because they're bums, they ain't doing shit, that all that time allows for them to develop these thoughts, to develop these emotions, these feelings, this malicious, hurtful, envious type of outlook on what their friends are doing. I'm always, I feel like I'm always, I don't know, I can confidently say this, and I'm pretty sure the people close to me in my life can concur, but I'm always my friend's biggest fan, bro. Getting married, I'm always the one that's the most happy, bro. They graduate, I feel like I graduated. They open a business, I feel like I opened a business. I always feel and I'm always connected to their success in a positive way, where it's a natural thing in me to see that and be just so happy for them and genuinely, you know, proud, genuinely supportive, where it's like, because I would want that for me. You know, I want that around me. I don't want no envy, no jealousy, no hate. And when I see that, bro, all it does is like, you know, now I got to do me, but in a respectful way, not like, oh, I got to one up him. I just got to one up myself.
Yeah.
I got to one up whatever level I'm at right now. I got to take another step. I got to go up the ladder an extra step. You know, that's all. That's how I look at it. I don't look at it like, oh, I'm gonna do something so I could one up them and be like, yo, I got this going on, and he's not on my level. It's not like that. It's I'm past the level I was once at. It's always me. You use them, you use your friends' success, your friends' progress as motivation for you to outdo your previous self. And that's how it should be. It shouldn't be where it's like, oh, they forgot. Like, bro, people got responsibilities, people got obligations, people got their own life to tend to, you know, their own things that require time from their life, their time and effort and focus. They can't always be that same friend that in terms of spending time and being available, they can't be. If anything, it should be looked at and viewed as motivation, where you see like, oh, he used to be a person that had a lot of time on his hands. Now he doesn't, and for good reason. He's doing stuff. He's busy. He's occupied getting his life together and getting to where he wants to go. And I should be doing the same thing. When you have the time to sit there, that's really what it comes down to, I think. It's always the people who really have the most time in the friend group that sit there chatting, that sit there spectating, that sit there developing those malicious or negative thoughts about their friends. I don't even know at that point. If you could even have those thoughts about those people that are close to you, I don't even know if we could call you part of the friend group. Honestly, you might just be a hater on the low, I don't know, a snitch or a rat, a spy, whatever the fuck you want to call it, two-face. But I don't know, man. It's healthy competition is the best. I love it, man. I love it. I see my boys doing their thing. You got my boy in med school. You got your boy that just got married. You got your boy that just opened a business, his third business, his fifth business, just bought a couple houses. All that shit, it gets me fired up. I don't even need them to fire me up. You know, that's just the type of person I am. And it, like I said, it's doing wonders for me. At least I could honestly say that the mindset that I have right now and the commitment, the dedication I have to what I got going on in my life, the effort that I'm putting forth in my everyday life is at a way more developed point, a way more developed, you know, just overall effort than I once was. I've taken steps and I've progressed and taken those leaps due to the simple fact of, one, I expect that of myself. I hold myself to that standard, but I like seeing the people around me do good because it just, it gets me hyped up. It gets me fired up. I never needed that really to come from anybody else. Maybe they might give you a little push, be a little, give you a little nudge and add to the fire. But me, speaking for myself, I feel like, I get fired up just generally and for no reason other than watching people do what they do. That shit gets me hyped.
Yeah, honestly, I think when you think of things positively, that's what it is. Especially within competition within your friend group. If you just think positively, you'll never have those envy, the jealousy, stuff like that. You would always want to see somebody do better for themselves, And for me per se, like I use other people's, push, like the things that they do in their life as, I want to see them do well for themselves. And I also want to see myself do well too,
Absolutely.
And that's the thing. This is the reason why in, different friend groups, businesses, collaboration, stuff like that. The reason why they usually fail is because you have that one person that thinks negatively. And just because they can't reach to a certain level of somebody else, they want to bring everything else down. And that's not a good thing. Honestly, we're all different people. We all do different things. If you're at a level that you're not comfortable with, then you try to get better, For yourself, though. You can't compare yourself. That's the problem in this world today is like people compare themselves to other people too much times. And everybody's different in their own way. Everybody has, their different abilities to get to where they want to be. People have different things that they're good at. So you have to be good in your own sense. Like, the thing that I don't understand is like, people who have all that time to be negative don't have anything positive going on in their lives. Because say if you have a 5 people friend group, right? Everybody has their businesses, everybody has their career and stuff like that. There's no time to be negative, bro. You have too much going on. But then once you have, a lot of time to yourself because you're not getting on your shit, you have time to be negative. Because I've never seen in a group of millionaires, right? Because I've been around a lot of millionaires, right? In a group of, whether it be real estate or it be a pharmaceutical business, they're just thinking about how to get better, how to bring in more clients, how to bring in more, how to buy more property, stuff like that. They're never thinking about, oh, he's making $5 more million than me a year. No, it's all right. I need to get like 5-6 more properties, and then this is how I'll do it this way. You know what I'm saying? You don't have time to think about negativity in a positive aspect of life. When you're getting to it, when you have some motion, you don't think about things that's going to push you back at all in any sense. It's only when you have a lot of people around you that are doing well and you're the only one that's not getting to where you need to be, then that's your fault. You feel what I'm saying? And then now it is your fault for not getting to where you want to be. But then also, if your friends are seeing you at that, level and they're not doing anything to bring you up, then that's not a friend group that you should have. Because honestly, as a true and real friend, I'm not going to sit around and just watch one of my friends do bad for themselves or not go to their potential. I'm going to push them every single time that I have a chance to.
Absolutely.
But the thing is that most people nowadays, especially, everybody wants to be in their feelings. Sensitive ass motherfuckers.
That's crazy. I was just thinking that too.
they take that as like, he's just on my ass. Like, why he's coming for me only? Blah blah blah.
He's trying to sum me.
Like, yeah, he's trying to sum me. He think he better than me. Blah blah blah. I'm like, nobody thinks like nobody's better than nobody, bro. I just want to see you do well.
By the way, not to cut you off, shout out to the agenda for making the men soft like that. Anyway, keep going. My bad.
I don't even like. You just made me think about something. Yeah. So like, honestly, if somebody's trying to tell you to get better, bro, don't take it as, oh, he's just coming for me. You feel what I'm saying? You better be lucky that you have somebody telling you to do better for yourself, because most people will just watch you walk by and fucking shit face yourself, right? And don't say nothing to you and just brush it off like it's okay. Like, bro, that shit is not okay, bro. There's no way in hell I'm gonna see my friend struggling and I'm gonna be okay with that, bro. You feel what I'm saying? If I know my friend is capable of doing certain things, I'm gonna push him to do that. I'm not gonna see him walk by while I do good. Cause what friend am I to watch another person just sit there and just detriment themselves the entire time? Like, it's crazy.
You're not a friend.
Not a friend
Not a
at
real
all.
friend, at least.
You're not a one.
I compare that dynamic, that relationship, to the same that of a parent or parents with their children. Good parents, they have a knack where they're always pushing their children to do their best. They're always trying to keep them out of harm's way. What do we hate growing up, especially in our teenage years? What do we hate when our parents give us lectures, right? Where it kind of hits home, but we don't want to take accountability for that shit, and we don't really want to own up to it, of like own up to the fact that we're slacking, we're not doing the right things, right? So we tend to dislike it. But in reality, they're telling us the things that'll benefit us. Like, think about how many times your parents have told you something may not be good for you, somebody may not be good for you, a group of friends, a certain way of life, a certain behavior, whatever it is, a certain endeavor, business endeavor, personal endeavor, whatever it is. How many times our parents was right? More times than they were wrong. I could tell you that. Without putting a number on it, it was more times than they were wrong. And when it comes to the friends, it should be the same thing with them. It's like the real friends that really mean well and wish well and have good intentions for you and wish you the best and always want to see you do your best. Those are the ones that are nonstop going to tell you, like, yo, bro, you're not doing this. Yo, sis, you're slacking. Yo, and yeah, it might sound or get a little bit annoying, but if you see it as if you acknowledge the truth that they really want the best, nobody who wants bad for you is going to sit there and waste their time trying to push you. It's that simple, really. I mean, what kind of goofy behavior would that be if I didn't care? I didn't care what you did with your life. I don't care how far you went, and I'm sitting here wasting my time, my energy, and being that, like, nagging you and telling you, giving you lectures, or sitting there and telling you, like, yo, you're short. Like, that doesn't make sense. If I didn't want the best for you, then I wouldn't be wasting my time doing that. So those are the friends that really don't mean shit to you, is the ones that watch and also are spectators of you being self-destructive, you know? And the friends that sit there and nonstop, every time you have a conversation with them, they're talking about real life stuff, beneficial, prosperous lifestyles, ways of thinking, mindsets, behaviors, choices, all that. When they're talking about that, you have one of two options. You could respond with, you know what, that encouraged me, that pushed me, that taught me something for the better. Or it's like, what the hell's going on here? I feel left out. And if you feel left out, I'm sorry to tell you, you probably are really like the one who kind of gotta go from that friend group, and you're the one who's always gonna be the weakest link. You're the one who is always gonna feel like you don't belong. You're the one who's always gonna be in that mindset of, I'm not as good as them, because you're just receiving it the wrong way and you're not living up to, think about in reality, if you're friends, and these are your friends, like, friends is a strong word. We're not throwing out the term loosely, right? If these are really your friends, that means you have a special bond with them, a special connection. And you are probably capable, if you tried, of doing just as much, if not more, than what they're doing. But the problem with you is you just don't have the dedication, that drive, that hard work, the determination, the consistency, the discipline, all those things that they got. And you're sitting there throwing your life away, wasting your time. You're awake for 16 hours and you're free for 12 out of those 16 hours a day. You're not busy. And you're always gonna be the weakest one, and you probably gotta go find some friends that are just as bummy as you, that are just as good for nothing as you. Sorry to tell you, there's no cure to this shit. You're just throwing thoughts out there, and really come to terms with it. Because if you're gonna sit there and always be the one that's slacking, that feeling, that hate, that envy, that jealousy, that feeling of being inadequate, that's never gonna go away. If you're not going to step up to the plate, you're always going to feel that. So just spare yourself the drama, spare yourself the misery, and just remove yourself. Cut them off because they're doing too good for you, and just accept it.
Yeah, that's facts. Honestly, what you said is that your group is only as strong as the weakest person in there. And if the weakest person is nowhere near the level of everyone else that's in the group, bro, sad to say, but it's either you get like a real sit down with yourself and tell yourself, like, yeah, bro, I need to step my shit up and actually try to, do better for myself so that I'm able to be at the same level as everybody in the group, or you just fall off, honestly. And don't let people waste their time on you. Like, if you know that you don't want to do better for yourself in your life, bro, and everybody else around you is doing well, bro, distance yourself from them, bro. Just save them the trouble. Because nobody wants to sit there and waste their time. Because you gotta understand, bro, especially for people that are very productive in their life. For them to take out their time of their day to try to help you, they're cutting off some time from themselves that they could be using to get better. So for you not to take that and be grateful for it and actually, not take it for granted and think that's negative, bro, like you're sick, bro. You're honestly sick to think that's a negative aspect of life for you. But also, the next thing that I do want to talk about is just like how you say, having a friend group where you spectate your friend doing bad and don't say nothing. And also, you as a person that's not doing, don't have no emotion, just spectating and watching others do well. And you're not even trying to do well for yourself, you know? Because at the end of the day, bro, you have to want what's best for you at all times. Nobody should want it more than you want it for yourself. And you have to go towards those things. And like the thing is that nobody's gonna fault you for not being at the level right away.
Of course.
Nobody's gonna fault you for it. The things that you can get faulted for is that you
quit halfway.
Yeah, you quit halfway, or you don't put in the necessary work or time or the effort, You just, oh yeah, I'm working on it. But what are you really working on? People once they see the hard work, once they see what you're trying to do, nobody ever faults you for doing those things at all, ever. But if you're sitting around and people could see that you're sitting around, people see that you have time, and you say that you want these things, but you're not putting no effort towards it, that's when I can honestly say is when, people are going to say something about it. Like, yeah, my boy's doing this. Yeah, my boy is doing that. But what are you doing for yourself, bro? Every time you're talking about other people and what they're doing. My brother, what are you doing for yourself? Stop being that spectator. Because it's not a crowd. This is not a game that you're going to sit there and watching. This is your life, my boy. Like, you have to watch your own life. You got to be a player in your own life, bro. You got to be a player in your own life.
How you on the bench in your own life, bro? It's your life and you sitting on the bench.
That's crazy, bro. You got to be the starter of your own life. You got to dictate where you go. Nobody should be in there telling you what to do so that you can go. You should already know that. All the other people are supposed to do is supposed to be there to support you in your life and what you're doing. And on the other hand, you being a spectator to your friend, like you see your friend doing bad, and you just watch him do bad, bro. Then at that point, you're at fault.
You're just as bad, probably.
Yeah, you're worse, honestly. You're worse. Because you sit there and see him struggling, and you know he's struggling, and you know you could say something, but you just choose not to. That's absolutely insane, bro. You can't be a real friend watching your friend destroy themselves. Like, oh, maybe, I shouldn't say anything. If you're a true friend, that should never, ever cross your mind. Ever.
Yeah, I mean, life is going to go by anyway. Whether you watch it or you participate actively, it's going to go by. So really, I always like that quote about, life is hard either way. To do good is hard and to struggle is hard. Just choose your heart. There's not really no philosophical shit going on in that quote, bro. It's simple. Life is difficult no matter which way you take. It's just one of them is going to be hard and rewarding. The other one is going to be hard and disappointing. You know what I'm saying? And ladies, don't get that mixed up with anything. But yeah, life is going to be hard regardless. It's either going to give you, you're going to see the fruits of your labor, or you're going to see, I guess, the bugs of your laborless life.
Just regret.
The bugs of regret. And I don't know. It's, I hate to say it like this. not really hate, but I guess there's for lack of being able to put it in a better way. But really, at the end of the day, friends, they're only gonna be around for so much. So for I guess you could say a temporary. Okay, yeah, friends for life, cool. That's real. That exists, cool. But when I say temporarily, I mean like they're only going to be that version, especially when they're doing good and they're productive people, contributing members of society. They're only going to be that person for a certain period of time. And what I mean by that is your friend that's sitting there always trying to uplift you, he might always still have love for you for the rest of life, as long as you guys both exist, as long as you're both alive, right? But there's going to come a point in time where if he doesn't see any result and trying anything positive coming from him trying to uplift you, or he doesn't see you trying to uplift him or whatever, the dynamic is going to change a little bit. You guys might get distant. It might not be as tight. I mean, it might be nothing but love, but it won't look the same. You get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, the reason why I mentioned that is because you want to take advantage of that time, especially like right now we're in our mid 20s, for I could even go as far as saying like between the ages of like 15, early, in my definition, that's like early adulthood. You start really maturing and shit. But anyway, I guess that's not the scientific definition, but who gives a fuck about science? From 15 all the way up until like 35, I would say approximately, give or take. Those are the years where your friendship actually can really, really play a big role in your life. The elements of your friendship, of your friend group, how it looks like, what goes on between you guys, you and your friends, and all that stuff. After 35, 40, when people got kids that's 10 years old, they got, well established lives, they've been living in a family, environment, their family, they've built a family, they've started a family, and, they've been living like that for 10, 15 years. At 35, 40, they don't really got that energy no more to bring you out from the shithole. Like if you guys are up and both well established, like yeah, there might be that aspect of still pushing each other. But if somebody or he or she is well established and they're steady and things are going well and you're still trying to figure shit out, they might not be able to provide as much insight, as much motivation, as much energy. They're not going to be able to really do that for you just because of the nature of life. When you get to 35, 40, I'm pretty sure you're not sitting here like, yo, I'm still trying to get, my friend to realize he has potential. Like, bro, you're too old for that. There's too much going on in life. You got your own kids to try to instill, good beliefs and good principles and good behavior, good character in them. You don't got time to do it for another grown ass kid. You know what I'm saying? Let me say it like that. So take advantage of the time you have with those friends. You might look at them where they're a little bit annoying and yeah, some of them might be cocky, but it's okay, bro. Because if you have that good positive response to whatever success your friends have, I promise you it could only better you. It could only help you. It could only take your life a step up. It could only up your game if you have the positive response. And if you have that negative response, as I said before, just remove yourself, spare yourself the misery, spare yourself the feelings, the animosity, the hate. Go find other people that like you for who you are and not going to tell you nothing. And you guys could just love each other until, you die, I guess.
Yeah, but
if it even lasts that long.
The only thing about that, bro, I ain't even going to hold you, bro. And honestly, and I see this a lot of times with people, bro, is that they live their life, whatever. They think they take things for granted, right?
Yeah.
And then, they're like, damn, he tried to push me all the time. And now I see like what he was talking about, what she was talking about. Like, I shouldn't have thought that. I should have actually got out of my shit. Because I'm sorry, bro, but once you hit like 40, bro, and you don't got no family, you don't got no kids, you don't got no motion in your life, and you've just been doing the same shit that when you was doing when you was 20, but now you're just 20 years older. Shit is insane.
That sounds like a nightmare to me.
It is. And most people only see that until that time because they're living life each year and they're just not getting better with themselves, right? People was telling them that they're not, honestly, if somebody's telling you you're not shit or you don't got shit going on in your life, nobody's going to say that if it's not true. You know what I'm saying? It might be a little bit harsh. I mean, it's a lot harsh, but it's the truth. And what they say, people don't like to hear the truth. But guess what? The truth is going to slap you dead in your fucking face when you're 40 and 50 and you don't got shit.
If you don't hear it, you're going to feel it.
Yeah, you're going to feel it. And honestly, I'd rather hear it than feel it, because once you feel it, the shit hurts. It hurts you mentally and physically. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, please be grateful for the people that you have around if they're pushing you to do your best. And you should be pushing them also to do their best. It should be only a circle of people. And honestly, energy is a thing that people always like to talk about. Positive vibes, good vibes, all that other shit, right? But energy is supposed to be reciprocated through everyone in the group.
Yes.
If I'm doing well, I'm going to keep doing good, right? Because I have my friends pushing me to do my best.
So even when you're down, their goodness rubs off on you. Boom, you get right back up.
Exactly. And then when I'm doing very well, I push them to do their best, right? And then they get back right up. And there's going to be a consistent circle, because at the end of the day in life, everybody's not going to be 100% all the time. And that's why you have your friends for.
Exactly.
You have your friends to uplift you and keep you balanced at a certain level, and to push you to exceed heights that you never thought that were possible. Because you can see what your potential is yourself, right? Possibly. But other people might see you at a whole different ceiling. And in life, sometimes you have to take an outside opinion, because there's certain things that you may not see that they can see, and actually put you in the path so that you could see it for yourself. And honestly, competition, it's needed. Throughout human history, there's always been competition. There's going to keep being competition. That's what pushes people at most times. You know what I'm saying? Because if there weren't no competition, people would be stagnant. They wouldn't do nothing.
Yeah, I do want to add something too, because you made a very good point about sometimes the people around you really see the potential in you. Even if you know you have it, sometimes that fades. You know, that fire in you fades. Like you'll start getting down on yourself, doubting yourself, unsure, uncertain, right? This is a little bit personal, nothing too deep, but there is, and shout out to y'all. If y'all watch this, you know who you are. I don't even need to say no names, but there's been, and it's not even just a few people. Honestly, it's more than I could count on my hands. God bless all of you. Much love to all of you. I wish you nothing but the best. But what I'm trying to say is, I've had people in my life, and this should happen to all of us. But this is the benefit of having good people and positive people around you that wish the best for you and want to see you do well. Where I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily say I needed it, but it still helped me whether I needed it or not. But a lot of times it did come at a time where I guess I needed it more than I thought, because the effects came just piling up after the positive effects, where I would just get a random message or notice, or it might not even be personal. I might have heard from like a third party that so-and-so person said that they see me as the only person they know that could really do anything he sets his mind to, or he could really be anything he wants, or he could really take his life to a whole new level. He could really, I've heard so many people tell me where, yo, out of all the people I know in my life, you're the person that could do it. You're the person that could take it there. You're the person that could really, take off and shoot up, And shout out to y'all, because even though in a very confident way, not cocky, I do really see that in myself. It still benefits you to hear that, especially from people that, you got genuine love and respect for. And that's part of the healthy competition, is that's kind of like the base of it, is where like they feel that about you. Like they look at you like, yo, bro, you could be so big. You could be so great. You could be so established. You could do big things. So instead of saying it just like that all the time and it sounds the same, they'll do it different ways and try to push you different ways and, try to naturally just let things take their course, where they're trying to talk about something that instead of saying, yo, you could do big, you could do it big, they're trying to do something big and see how you respond, So it comes in different forms. It looks differently. It's not always the same shape, size, always the same figure, but healthy competition is never going to be a bad thing. A good competition between friends is never going to be a bad thing. It's always going to be something that's necessary in a friendship dynamic, in a relationship dynamic. And again, shout out those people who've done that for me, because those type of things, that shit means more than anything, bro. You know, that be that shit that it don't matter how much negative things has been in your way, you know, recently, but you when you know that other people think like that about you or of you, then it just like you kind of ignore your own negative thoughts about yourself and you act based on what they think about you. Like, you know what, even though right now I'm not really feeling the most confident, so and so person looks at me like I'm the man, like I could do it, like I could figure it out. So you know what, I'm gonna go figure it out. And you know, that's healthy. That's a beautiful thing. Life could be beautiful, it could be ugly. It's gonna be hard either way. Choose your type of hard.
Yeah, no, facts. And honestly, to end off this episode, honestly, you need to think of things in a positive manner. If somebody's taking the time out to even, like for me, right? And this is competition in myself, and for some people they may think it's crazy, but you got to learn to take the negatives into a positive. Or if you think it's a negative, you turn it into a positive, right? If people are talking shit about you, take that as a positive thing.
It's a negative act with positive meaning behind it.
Exactly. Like, oh, they're telling you like you're not shit, you can't do these things. Okay, cool. You may think I can't do these things, right? But I'm gonna show you that I can. You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna show you that I can. Watch this. You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna show you that I could do this. And if your friend group is telling you that you could do certain things, believe them. They're taking the time out their day to tell you that you could do certain things. Now, are you gonna be the only person that tells yourself you can't do it? No. You should be the number one motivator in your own life, right? And then you take it the outside, whatever they're saying to you, and you add it to the fuel and fire that makes you do better. So just take everything as a positive notion and don't make it negative, because there's no way on this earth that you will fall short while you're being positive. It may take some time, but time is all you have. This has been another episode of the Just to Know podcast, where we make knowledge your fucking strongest weapon.
The only people who don't miss any shots are the ones who don't take any. So God bless y'all. Thank you for being here. As always, it's been a pleasure. Wish you guys a great rest of your day. God bless. Peace.